Um, I don't know, actually. Do you know? I can't remember. It's usually starts off, naturally a bit damp, I suppose. Day one, green. It was a slightly different tinge of green. It was not quite as lush, but yeah, pretty similar. Maybe a fraction drier. So, but a good fair surface, I think. And like I say, it'll just be dependent, as the game goes on, how the pitch sort of develops and what's required to try and do the job. Yeah, got us off to a really nice start. He's probably the one guy that had rhythm out there for a period of time. And having said that, I suppose early on you are trying to find that fuller length to bring in more modes of dismissal, and he capitalised on some of those fuller deliveries, and then ultimately I suppose you're always going to get asked questions, and that's what happens batting first in Test cricket, and certainly in this country. So yeah, a really nice positive start for the team, and then I think the contributions and little partnerships throughout were really important to us getting to where we are today. But like I say, you just keep looking forward, and it's about what we do tomorrow now, and trying to get a few more runs with the bat.
Kane, you've got a pretty good record getting through the 90s. You just got, I guess, on the attack and looking to be just positive when you go like that.
Yeah, just a bit of a cut shot, and it sat in the wicket, and for me, just sticking to my plan, and that's what I try and do all the time, and the runs are the team's runs, so whether it's that or more or a lot more is obviously the desired result. It is what it is, and I suppose on a surface like that you ride a bit of luck as well, and played and missed a bit. That's sort of the nature of the beast, but ultimately it's trying to make a bigger contribution for the team as much as you can, and I thought we saw that in smaller ways throughout. Depending on the surface, obviously it changes, and there were some really good contributions from a number of players.
Were you particularly hungry to get a score and get amongst it, because you had to sit and watch that incredible series play out and sort of not get to play part in it?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to, whether it's whether you've played a few or not, that desire's there to try and add value to the team in whatever way you can, and make a contribution. So, that's always the focus for me. But like you mentioned, that was an incredible series, remarkable in so many ways. The style of cricket that the guys played, it was brave, and you do have to take risks there in conditions that are really quite challenging, and the number of contributions throughout from everybody throughout that sort of month-long tour were outstanding, and they weren't hundreds, and they were maybe 10-fers and 12-fers with the ball, but they were all really, really valuable, whether it was 40 or 35, and the options that they were taking. So yeah, it was pretty special to watch. Yeah, I don't think it was too up and down. It was probably as the pitch dries, there's a slight variation in the pace, but and a little bit of sideways movement. Yeah, I think it's just playing it on merit, really. You're going to get really challenging periods. There's enough pace and bounce, so when there are opportunities to score, you try and make the most of them. But certainly when you're hitting an area for periods of time and there's some sideways movement, with that bounce, there's definitely some threats there. So trying to just navigate the different periods of an innings, and work with your mate at the other end to do as best as you can. There was a bit of a howling wind too, so there were quite different ends to bat at. And I think there were some good plans, some good contributions, but like I say, it's day one's finished, and it's about moving forward and sort of addressing what's in front of us, whether it's the changing conditions with the good weather that I think we're going to have, and the style of play that England like to play as well.
You go.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has a spot. It's about representing the team as well as you can, and we saw that from Will, not just in India but Sri Lanka as well, and all the time that he's been in the team. And I think it's a fantastic thing to have some batting depth there, and I know Will well, and we often chat, and his game is world class, and we saw that the way he adjusted to some tough conditions, and the contributions he made. So he was really good, and he knows where his game's at, and he loves the team, and so it's just one of those situations really, but in a lot of ways a blessing for the team to have as well, some of those tough decisions.
Kane, there was a score flurry of wickets in the final session. Can you talk to us about the importance of someone like Kane coming in at 7 and being able to push the scoreboard along, but also back the tail?
Yeah, absolutely. Runs are very valuable, certainly on surfaces that are fair for both sides, where there's a little bit of movement. You put the ball in the right area, you get some rewards, and like you mentioned, there were some wickets in that last session, and I think that's a part of it. But the way that Glenn goes out and play, and the lower order are more inclined to play a few shots and take the game on a bit, which is great. So hopefully we can do a bit more of that tomorrow, and then have an opportunity with the ball. Yeah, you did a fantastic job into the wind. Like I mentioned, there were two very, very different ends, and the way he did that and picked up a few wickets, obviously an excellent job. Got a bit of bounce, a tall guy, and often that's a lot of the assistance you get, whether it's as a seam bowler or a spinner. So made use of that, and did a great job for his team. Yeah, nice bowler, bowls heavy and really good skills too. Actually, got the ball to shape away, and in fact they're so used to that, with the conditions that they have back home, with the skill sets that they possess, whether that's using the 3/4 ball and getting that seam both ways, or getting a bit of shape and presenting the seam. So I think all of their bowlers did that, and they know how to do that very well, and and they all come in and bowl with really good energy, and he certainly did that too. So it was good, a good tough day of Test cricket.
Thanks very much, everyone. Cheers, Kane.
Cheers.
Camera all good? Rory, go ahead, please.
Thank you.
How did you enjoy today, coming from Pakistan to a pitch like this? The job was a wee bit different, I guess.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I wasn't really expecting to bowl 20 odd overs today, and it was a different challenge presented. Obviously, it was day one, and wicket was a bit green. So yeah, as I said, I wasn't really expecting to bowl 20 overs, but yeah, really enjoyed it.
And the wrong side without their specialist spinners, you could have gone the same there. Not even expecting to bowl 20 overs, you got some planning to get into 2, 3, 4 wickets.
Yeah, look, I think I knew I had a job to do, and as I said, when you're expected to do a job, you want to fill it to the best of your ability. So as I said, I really enjoyed it. It was tough with the wind, but yeah, had to find a way to work through that.
Can you tell us a wee bit about what the overt faith that Ben and Baz have put in you is, to the extent that towards the end of Pakistan they made a point of basically picking you for this game a few weeks ago and saying you're still number one, you're spinner in all conditions. How does that make you feel when you come against a test match like this, knowing that you have that
Yeah, look, Stokesy and Baz backed me 100%. You know, I bowled plenty of bad balls out there, and I was still kept on. You know, and that just shows how much faith they have in me. So yeah, I think 100% it brings the best out of me, and I just really enjoyed playing under them.
And looking at some of the stats, looked where you were at the start of the year in India, coming in as an extra player in the squad. You bowled more balls than anyone in Test cricket in 2024. You can't imagine that would have been something that you would say at the start of the year.
Yeah, 100%. You know, 2 years ago I didn't have a county, and now I'm just very, very thankful for what's happened over the last year.
Any more questions? Nick, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't catch you. Yeah, 100%. All I was thinking about was trying to take a wicket or trying to create an opportunity. As I said, I bowled plenty of bad balls out there, as I said, all I was thinking about was trying to take a wicket, and thankfully that happened. Not really. He just looks at me and smiles, and it just even that just gives me so much belief that I know that I can bowl my best ball whenever, you know.
Yeah, Chris, and then Lawrence.
I just wondered, how much do you feel like you've learned as a bowler since you made your debut in India?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I've developed quite a bit, quite nicely. I'm still learning on the job, you know, and I don't think that will ever finish. So yeah, I learned a few skills bowling at some of the best players in the world, you know. So yeah, I would say I've learned a lot.
Lawrence.
How did you feel you got the sense at the end of those 3 tests?
Yeah, look, I feel I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I was maybe a bit frustrated on wickets that I've not really bowled on before. But overall, like as I said, I'm learning on the job, and I'm still trying to. I'm not perfect, you know. I felt like I could have bowled a lot better, and every day I feel like I can bowl a lot better. So yeah, just reflecting on that tour, it was a tough tour, but as I said, I really enjoyed it.
I was asked about the wind, what the challenge of that today, and what you had to do to adjust.
Yeah, I think bowling against the wind was tough, really tough. I felt like the wind sort of took away my line from me a little bit, so I knew I had to work stronger in my bowling action to almost compensate for that wind. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed bowling. I've never bowled in New Zealand before. Obviously played that two-day warm-up game, and that was about it. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Right at the front.
What was the chat like when Kane Williamson got going out in the middle, and did you have a specific plan on bowling to him?
Yeah, sort of the chat was just to keep bowling, keep trying to frustrate him by bowling dot balls at him. He obviously is a world-class player, and for me, bowling at someone like him, I was just in awe of watching Kane Williamson bat, to be honest. But for me, I was just trying to focus on deceiving him outside off, with both trying to play with the outside edge and inside edge, and I got past his outside edge a few times, and but yeah, he's a really quality player.
Vish, last one, please.
Williamson made, his one team was a kind of three-quarter straight-ish deal. Was that basically to come off that shot he had, so he played that?
Yeah, I sort of felt like if I blocked that off, I might be able to get a caught and bowled with one that, if it does turn, not saying that I was expecting it to turn, but if it did turn, I thought if I cut that off, I might get one hit back at me. And you know, it's about playing the game. It's like a game of chess, you know. But as I said, I really enjoyed it. I couldn't really tell from where I was, but when I saw him out the crease, I was licking my lips, and then all of a sudden he slides back, and happens.
Cool, thank you.
All good. Thank you. Cheers.